A Ford Mustang GT4.
Dominant fashion, highly glad.
Yeah! Area 51 podcast. This is Cap Houston right here. Bobby, what you got for me?
Good evening, race fans. It is episode 101. I know it's been a long time since we've all been here. I got Rob in the building with me. Rob, how you doing?
Good. How about you, Bobby? It's good to be back.
Yeah, amen.
Yes.
It's been a eventful month. I from our 100th episode to going to Toledo and pitting a race car to meeting this awesome gentleman we got here. We got Logan. How you doing, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Now, welcome, Logan.
We're gonna start out by talking about Toledo real quick. So when I was walking around, I had my I don't even think I had the crew shirt or the pit shirt or the pit suit on, did I? When I seen you, I still think I had the Area 51 stuff on.
No, you were literally just taking a picture of the hood, and I looked over and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, so I'm like, "Oh, Big Fish Barbecue, I like it." Like the logo pops, and Logan goes, "Well, that's my brand." I'm like, so we stood there and talked for probably what, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and we were talking about what he did. Obviously, we talked about the podcast, and I think it was before the race even started, wasn't it?
No, I think it was after the race because they Brayton and Jeff just happened to be parked next to each other, and we were down talking to the drivers.
Oh, there you go. That's right. So after the race, we talked, and then I ended up I think I passed you with the hood as I'm walking to the car, and I was like, "See ya!"
Yeah.
And then Logan seen the hood, and he goes, "Well, I gotta get me one of those now."
Yeah, I gotta tell Brayton I gotta come up with some more sponsorship for him for that.
Now, you guys know I usually wear my polo. It is 49 degrees here. Logan, you can vouch for that. It's cold as hell.
Yeah, Northeast Ohio. We lost our second summer, and fall's hitting us right in the face right now.
Yeah, we went from summer last weekend to absolutely winter.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, people that aren't from like the Great Lakes states don't understand when that wind comes off that lake how much it affects everything, and it sucks. Lake effect snow is terrible.
Yep, I 100% agree.
I'm fortunate. I live in southeast Wisconsin, southwest of Milwaukee. So we occasionally will get like on the edge of the lake effect snow. But fortunately, we're far enough away from Lake Michigan that usually we don't. But I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, like Buffalo, anywhere over by Cleveland, any of that lake snow.
Yeah,
it's crazy. They just get dumped on.
Yeah, and it's not that light fluffy stuff. It's that heavy wet, like each shovel is like 50, 60 pounds of snow.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I will say this, since we are talking about Toledo, I'll wrap it up real quick, but I actually met a whole bunch of awesome people while I was there. Logan was one of them. There was some people that helped pit Alex's car and Jeff's car that are absolutely fantastic people. A bunch of them come from UNOH, which I didn't realize that. So
yeah, that's I think that's like the majority of like Brayton's pit crew. We found that out when we were up in Michigan. He was kind of explaining that I guess they go to school and this is kind of like an internship type deal for them.
Nice.
which is cool because UNOH is like the training grounds official school of NASCAR per se, where if you want to be in NASCAR and get a degree related to racing and specifically, that's the place to go. And yeah, I knew that not only Alex Club but the Jeff, his team, they do use that. People from there, which is great because they give them on the job training while they're still going to school, where they're going to have the experience when they get out, to be able to possibly go to a team or to like the driver development, or I should say driver development, the like pit crew development training program or whatever NASCAR. I can't remember what they officially call it now, because I know Rev Racing is usually the training grounds for the drivers and the pit crew members, but apparently Rev Racing is either changing names or they're not going to be doing it anymore or something. I don't know. There was a rumor that recently heard about that, so don't know if it's true or not. But either way, I'm sure another team will step up and there'll still be training areas for pit crew and members and drivers.
So, Logan, before we talk to you about what you do and all that, we got a sort of an announcement to make.
Go for it.
You want to do it or you want me to?
This is your show, man. You do it.
All right. So everybody's asked. Everybody's finally we're going to do something cool. Starting today, as of right now, everybody that's on, if you want to go get these, go get them while they're hot. But Big Fish Barbecue and Area 51 are partnering. We've got merch. They are official. So this is the first time Logan's seeing it too.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So I'm pretty excited. They are going to be through Anna Amore Designs. I will post them up on Facebook, but she sent me that and she's like, here you go, check this out. So I know we're excited about it, and it's only going to come in black, but we wanted to make the announcement that we partnered up, and thank you for partnering with the podcast. And
Hey, thanks for reaching out and throwing the idea out there.
I didn't, like I said, I was just kind of having fun with it, and then I was like, hey, what do you think? And he's like, yeah.
Listen, that's what I've been doing ever since I started this whole thing. I've just been having fun with it.
I mean, that's basically what we've been doing too. And it's just the more people you talk with and more people you network with, the more, opportunities come about, and it helps not only us, but also your business by getting more exposure. So it's a win-win for both of us, and we're glad to be partnered with you.
Yeah, I'm same with me. I'm excited to be partnered with you guys and can't wait to see where this goes.
Absolutely. And with that being said, tell us about yourself and about your business.
All right. So I am the owner of Big Fish Barbecue. It started off in like 2022. Bunch of my friends just they didn't know how to cook, and I had learned from my dad. My dad was the main cook in the house, and he lived in the kitchen, on his days off, on the weekends and stuff. And even though he was one of those where if he was in the kitchen, nobody else was allowed to be in there, I'd always ask him questions. I'd kind of pick up, stuff from just kind of watching him from the other room. And I'm, kind of wanted to carry on that tradition of, being, the husband that cooks in the house. So in 2022, I just kind of was like, why don't I have some fun with this and kind of put out some recipes for some of my buddies who, they don't know how to cook, or, they're living on their own. Their girlfriends don't really cook. They're ordering out, they're spending a bunch of money on like pizza and DoorDash and stuff. And I was like, I could throw up some easy recipes. And uh so we started kind of thinking of like a name for it, and I got the idea from my iRacing team because it was Big Fish Motorsports. And I was like, all right, well, why don't I just run with the whole Big Fish thing? And, we came up with Big Fish Barbecue, and kind of, just took it from there, started posting recipes online, some cooking videos, nothing like too crazy. And so did that for, I don't know, about a year. And then one of my buddies was like, why don't you try making like barbecue sauce or some like dry rubs or stuff. So started just experimenting. Looked up some recipes for sauce. Kind of went about it with like my own twist. Took some inspiration from my dad when I was doing this, and I couldn't I couldn't get it right. I made like six or seven different runs of it, and it wasn't hitting. And I was like, man, something's not right. I kept going back. Like I had a notebook where I was like writing down like different ideas like of the ingredients, and I'm like, man, something's not right. And I talked to one of my buddies down in Louisiana. His name is Jesse. And I was just kind of kicking around ideas with him, told him I was kind of stuck with it. And he's like, well, why don't you try this ingredient? And he was like, tell me what you think. So I was like, all right. So I tried the new ingredient. I substituted it for one. And as soon as I tried it, I called him and I was like, dude, you did it. I was like, we're on to something here. So I sent him a bottle. I was like, tell me what you think of it. So I sent him some, and I had friends, I had family start trying it, and they're like, wow, this is really good. Um, so get through 2023 and started kind of like started selling more to like I had through iRacing, uh and just some family, they were ordering, and people were like, why don't you try and get this into a store? So I of course started doing more research into the everything that we needed to like get into stores or like sell online and stuff, and ended up finding a company that would take my recipe and produce it. Like in all the FDA laws that are out there that they have to follow. So I sent it to them. I met with them a couple times. They did a couple runs of it. We got it to where it was what my taste was of the original, because obviously they have to make it like in a lot bigger batch than what I was making. So there's like a science behind the different amounts of ingredients for everything. And they we finally figured it out to where it was exactly what I was making at home in my kitchen, and we just kind of ran with it. And this is still like we're still on our first production run. And thanks to everything in the last couple of weeks, we're getting ready to release our spicy version. It's going to take a little bit of time to get that up and running through production and everything, but we do have a spicy version that everybody's been asking for.
I can't wait for the spicy.
Yeah, we got a list of people that I've sent them I've had repeat customers already from everything that's gone on over the last couple of weeks, and I've gotten a few emails, I've gotten stuff on like Twitter and Instagram and Facebook saying, do you have a spicy version? We really like spicy. I'm like, well, I guess it's finally time to release it. So that's gonna be coming out probably in the next couple months.
Awesome.
So the products that you use, you make barbecue sauce and then you make dry rubs, correct?
So I don't make I haven't done dry rubs yet. It is on my list
Okay.
of stuff it's on my list of stuff that I want to try. Um I've just been sticking with the barbecue sauce for now, but I do want to get a line of at least maybe like two different dry rubs that people can use for not only just barbecue, but like anything you know, in the kitchen that you're making, or you know, on the grill or smoker or anything like that.
Rob knows what I use for all my food. And
I
I'm
do the
real
same because of St. Elmo's steakhouse seasoning, the regular seasoning that they have. That stuff is pretty good, but I definitely will have to try some Big Fish barbecue sauce. Have to get
Oh,
some of that.
yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely make sure you can get some.
Yeah, the St. Elmo's, you get it at Walmart, and it's you know where the St. Elmo's restaurant is in Indianapolis.
I've seen the stuff at Walmart, but I didn't know that they had that they were out in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so there's a huge restaurant. It's a steak restaurant in Indianapolis. Absolutely, all the race teams go there when they go to Indy. So I happened to find it at Walmart or Chiefs or one of them, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna try this. And I told Rob, I said, this is probably the best seasoning I've ever had. And next thing you know, he comes over and he's trying it and he's like, damn, this is pretty good. I don't even think I gave you a bottle, did I? You just went home and found it.
Well, I bought some before I left Ohio. The
That's
first time I
right, you
bought two
did.
bottles of it, and then I found it at our Walmart here, so I bought some, and then they were out of it for a while, and I just found it like 2 weeks ago again. So
Now they do have the spicy one, and I like the spicy.
the Cajun
Yeah.
spice one, yeah.
Oh,
So
I love me a good Cajun seasoning. You throw that on
exactly.
some
So now I
shrimp.
can't wait for yours because when you do the
Yeah.
rubs, you gotta let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I like
Well,
Cajun seasoning too.
yeah, once you get a link and all that, I'll post it on the Facebook page, and we'll just keep rolling.
Sounds good.
Obviously, Twitter seems to have a thing with both of us lately.
Oh, dude, Twitter's been insane. My phone has not stopped since the day before the NASCAR game released.
Yeah, so first of all, we're talking about the NASCAR game because it's what, a couple days before, after the race
Yeah.
that it dropped, or it dropped while we were there.
No, it was about no, it was like
It was the pre-release for the gold members.
yeah, it was a week after Toledo.
Yeah, so we're talking about it, and I'm like, man, I can't wait for this game to come out, not knowing that Logan's on it or in Big Fish Barbecue. So here I'm talking to Logan. I power the game up. I'm like, all right, let's see what this game's about. Go into career mode, finish. I win Daytona, which I still don't know how I did, but I did. Alex Club pushed me to victory. Next thing you know, I'm getting a message saying Big Fish Barbecue would like to sponsor you, and I'm like, hold on, what? I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at my phone. I'm scrolling. I text Logan, and I said, "You're in the game." So
So
he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "This is freaking awesome." And next thing you know, he goes, "Twitter's freaking going nuts." So he's been telling me about Twitter blowing up. So I make a post about him coming on the show tonight, and my Twitter will not stop blowing up. I've got people messaging me. I'm like, what in the hell is going? Like, I'm at work and my phone's going ding, 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 ding.
see, now you know why I have my phone muted during
I'm
work
like, no.
hours.
I silent it, flipped it upside down. I'm like, I'm not listening to this. Like, I'm busy. I don't have time for you to go ding, ding, ding.
Dude, so in the first 7 days that the version was like out, I had 350,000 views on Twitter. Like it was in I can't like I couldn't I still can't fathom what went down. And it was all like 99% was all positive feedback. And I'm still I'm still getting like, I'm still getting people tagging me and stuff. I've had people I've had people tag me where they've quit their careers because they signed on with another sponsor and they didn't realize that the career mode only lets you have one sponsor at a time. So they've restarted their career mode to run my stuff the whole season. And I'm like a nobody. Like that's so crazy. And I see all these people that are like super excited that I'm like that we're replying to them and stuff. And I'm over here. I'm like, I'm just as excited as you guys are. Like this is incredible. I knew that we were going to be in the game. I knew at the time we were going to be on just the paint booth. We have a very, very small logo on Brayton Laster's car in the game that just with how the graphics are, if you don't look for it, you're going to pass over. But I knew we were in the paint booth, which I was cool with. I'm like, cool. I'll, get to run all these online races with my logo on it. It's going to be really fun. And Thursday, like it was like 4:30. So like 7 hours before the game or like the gold edition, like released on PlayStation and Xbox, I just happened to look at my phone and Jeff Gluck tagged me in something. And I'm like, what? There's no way. Somehow he tagged me by accident. Like, there's no way. So I click on it, and it is a picture from the career mode in like it's like the social media. Like after the race, you get like the drivers like that like tweet at you or or whatever. And one of the tweets on the game was like, oh, it looks like Big Fish Barbecue and Jeff Gluck are like, looking to partner for a long time. And I'm like, there's no way. I had no idea that we were going to be in their career mode, let alone being the first sponsor offer in the game. So literally every single person that plays this game that does the career mode for like 20 minutes is going to see us. And I could not believe it.
Now, I will say that I'm one of those people that restarted their career mode because I was all the way at Xfinity and I said, screw this. And I went back. But now I'm sad because I'm in the Xfinity series, right? Or I'm in the truck series and it doesn't carry over. So I had to keep the ARCA series going on top of the truck series because I don't want to lose you as a sponsor.
Well, I'm not even through my first season because I just haven't had time, and so I'm still not even through my first season. It's so funny. I got complete strangers that are like, I'm keeping you on for the whole season. One of my best friends was like, sorry, another company wanted to pay more. I'm like, all right, I see how it is. But no, it's been it's been crazy. Like I said, I feel like I'm still gonna wake up from a dream. Like there's no way that this is going on right now. I've had actual developers of the game like message me and tag me and stuff saying that this has been like the best part of what's like of the launch weekend, that we've been like the feel good story of launch weekend. They had so much fun with it. Like seeing like all the like positive feedback. So like it's been surreal.
It's definitely awesome to see on there, and I'm happy that they actually put you in the career mode, not just the paint booth. That's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I had zero knowledge that was going to happen. When I had the couple meetings, they were like, "Yeah, you'll be in the paint booth." And I'm like, "Sweet, like that's good enough." I'm like, I don't even think I even asked about the career mode because I was so happy at the time that they were going to put us in the paint booth. And I think one of the funniest things about this entire thing is I've had so many messages saying, we thought you were a fake sponsor or one of those like generic sponsors. Like, we didn't think you were real. And like, they were like, we're sorry. I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm a 2-person company because I brought on a buddy to kind of help with some stuff just to take some stuff off my plate. But I was like, yeah, we're a 2-person company. Like I barely had a following on social media. Like I said, this was just kind of like a hobby type thing. So I'm not mad that anybody thought that we were fake. I laugh every single time I see a message and they're, oh, we're sorry. We didn't know you were real. I'm like, dude, that's fine. Like, it's awesome. I love it.
Now you're getting everybody from young kids to people Rob's age that are hopping in there racing. And I've even seen it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram about everybody going, this is freaking awesome. Like, you're just going in there and they're seeing your sponsor, like you said, right off the rip, and they're like, this is freaking awesome. And then on top of that, you go into the paint booth, and some of the paint schemes in there that people are making are absolutely incredible, with your logo all over the hauler and the fire suits and the cars, the trucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've had
Awesome.
somebody did a Lightning McQueen Xfinity car with us on it. Somebody last night did like an early 90s Mark Martin paint with I think it was an Xfinity car with us on, or no, it was an ARCA car with us on it. And he's like, oh, what do you think about this? And I was like, I like it. And I tagged Mark Martin on
Was
Twitter.
it?
I was like, what do you think of it? And he liked it. And I'm like, this is just awesome.
Yeah.
I happen to be wearing the Mark Martin t-shirt
Yeah,
right
that
now.
exact that paint right there on the bottom, the early
Yep.
90s.
Yeah, the 90s, the JR10 chassis, where he won a bunch of races in a row.
Yep. So it's been really fun, and the like I said, it's been 99% positive like feedback. Like I haven't really come across, knock on wood, like any troll, I've gotten a couple trolls, but whatever with that. But I mean, it's all been like super positive. Like everybody I feel like they're as excited as I am that we're in the game.
And how is that translated to like you obviously partner with Alex Club, Jeff, was it Jeff McConey, Brighton Lassiter?
Yep.
Or Laster. How is that being in that video game like translated to partnering with them, or has it been like more beneficial the other way around? It sounds like maybe.
So I got linked up with Brayton and Jeff at the beginning of the year, maybe back in like December, through my iRacing league, Goat Locker Racing. They're veteran owned, and I'm going to give them a shout out. They're a veteran owned and operated. They're a 501c charity, and they just use iRacing as like their platform. They actually they've given away, I don't know how, like maybe 14 or 15 full sim rigs to veterans. And it's a form of kind of like therapy to help cope with like their PTSD. So the owners over there, Patrick Drabick and Jamie Barkas, I've known them for about 5 years now. And like their stuff has just exploded with what they're doing for not only the sim racing community, but the veterans and the first responders community. So I got linked up with Pat, linked me up with Brayton, and Brayton kind of brought Jeff in as well. And he was like, hey, this is kind of what I'm looking for. This is what I do. What do you think? And we were like, yeah, like we can absolutely put something together. So kind of working with Brayton and Jeff, helped us build the connections that we did to kind of get like our stuff in the game.
So I'm gonna ask. So can you tell us about Michigan?
Michigan. Okay.
I'll let you go. I'll let you run it.
All right. So we the original plan was to just partner with Brayton for Toledo. We were just gonna do the one-off race in October and call it a day. And my partner was like, "Hey, I'm taking my dad to the Michigan race for the whole weekend. What do you think about, seeing if Brayton wants to do something?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, yeah, let me message him." So message Brayton. We got the sponsorship rolling, and I told him, I said, "I'm going to come up. We're going to cook. I'll cook breakfast and lunch for you, for the team, to kind of help you, to help them out." So we go up to Michigan, and Brayton, I don't know who he talked to, but he got us to be able to cook on pit road. So we were on pit road at Michigan, in like right behind his pit box. We cooked the team breakfast. We just made like eggs and bacon and sausage, and then we did smash burgers for the team and the for lunch. But we were on pit road like the entire day. So like the truck series was running practice, and then ARCA went out, practice, qualified, and then raced. So we were like on pit road for, I don't know, maybe like 9 or 10 hours. I had my Blackstone with me, and we were cooking for the team, and it was just like a crazy experience. Until they came over and shut us down. They're like, "Yeah, you guys can't be here." And we're like, "Well, we've been here for like 9 hours cooking all." So they sent some people over, and they're like, "Yeah, it's time to wrap up." So we are like, "All right," we wrapped up, but it was crazy to just be on pit road. Like, we were originally just going to set up at their hauler, and they were just going to run back and forth. But if you've ever been to Michigan, the infield's huge. Like, it's not like they could just walk back to their hauler, and as a lot. It was a far walk because they had to get they had all four series there. So ARCA was kind of like put towards the outskirts of it. So Brayton pulled some strings, and we were standing there on pit road, and it was I looked at my buddy, and I was like, "Man, I don't feel like we should be here. Like, I don't feel like we've earned the right to be here right now." We had so much fun with it. It was so cool. Hung out on pit road for the whole race. Before even practice started, like in the morning, we were like hanging out. We were sitting on the start finish line, just taking pictures, did some social media stuff out there. It was just it was really fun.
And just so people understand, so I'm trying to think how to describe this. So here's the pit lane. When you come out of pit lane, here is the Cup Series garage. Here is the Xfinity garage. Then the Truck Series is over here. And then way the hell back that way is the ARCA.
Yeah.
And that's why they never run all four there, because that's an absolute cluster.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Come to think about it, I don't think Xfinity was there that weekend.
I
think
don't
they
think
were off
trucks
it.
were there that weekend.
No, trucks were there because we watched them practice. I think it was Xfinity that was off that weekend.
That's right. You're right. You're right. I was there. I wasn't inside.
That was the weekend where they went from the Cup teams had to load their cars, I believe,
Yep.
during the race to go to Mexico City, if I remember correctly.
That was this year.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
Yeah. And which was crazy.
I'm
with
still
with a race going on at the same time.
I'm still not happy about that. I don't understand why they got rid of the Xfinity out of Michigan. That's a great race.
Dude, Xfinity puts on the best races, period. I prefer I honestly am I enjoy watching them more than the Cup Series some days, depending on what track they are.
Yeah,
So
that's
we'll ask Logan this question.
Oh boy.
yeah.
So who do you have winning the championship in the Cup Series?
Oh man.
And do not look at me and ask me who I am or who I
Okay.
pick because Rob will sit there and say, I know what Rob's gonna say.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. Man, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I'm actually gonna go with Denny Hamlin. And hear me out. Hear me out. Couple I've never been a big Denny Hamlin fan. I grew up a Jeff Gordon fan, a Hendrick Motorsports fan, ever since he retired. I've never been a big Denny Hamlin fan, but seeing the emotion that he had after Vegas with what his dad's going through and, personally losing my dad a few years ago, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm getting on board. I hope he goes and does and that he's able to do this for his dad.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, Rob. I know you want to
So,
say it.
so last year I picked Denny Hamlin to win. Obviously he didn't, and I picked him again this year before the season started. I'm like, Denny Hamlin's gonna have a great year. He's gonna win the championship. And so what Bobby's alluding to is a lot of people thinks he resembles Denny Hamlin. He's like his doppelganger. If you put a hat on him, he does sort of resemble Denny Hamlin. And in fact, was it 2 years ago we were an associate sponsor on Jeremy Clements's car at Pocono Speedway, and Bobby and I met Denny Hamlin, and he like did like a double take.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's see this. Let's see this. Oh wow. Okay.
I mean,
I see it.
yeah. So yeah, so we always joke, and he's a Denny Hamlin fan, but yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think Denny Hamlin, especially this year, with everything that's going on with his team with 23XI, he's got the motivation from that because of the antitrust lawsuit and NASCAR, making them mad, and then his stuff with his dad, and he now has locked himself in where he can solely, look and train for Phoenix for that championship race. That I think he's going to be tough to beat. He's good at Phoenix to begin with. I just think they're going to have so much sim time and stuff that they don't have to worry about, like where he's good at Martinsville, which is this weekend. It's not going to be he's going to have to be like, oh, I have to win this race,
right?
Or I'm not going to be in the championship for this. Now he can just focus on Phoenix and prepare, and then, I honestly think he's the favorite.
He's got to hope that Penske does not win at Martinsville with Logano or Blaney.
I believe that it's going to be this is exactly how I can picture it. It's going to be 3 JGR cars and Kyle Larson, just like it's going to be 3 Junior Motorsports cars and some random.
Yeah, I have a feeling you very well could be. I think Christopher Bell is gonna. I think he might win this weekend at Martinsville. I think if Denny Hamlin doesn't, or Larson, it's going to be Christopher Bell. Denny Hamlin's
going to win.
One of those 3 are more than likely going to win it. I mean, Byron maybe has a shot, depending, but he's had sort of a down year since the beginning of the season. So you're right. I think it's going to be Denny Hamlin, obviously Chase Briscoe, and Christopher Bell. I mean, and then more than likely Larson.
See, I think Blaney has a really good shot at Martinsville. He's always performed really well, and Penske's always given him a good car at Martinsville.
Yeah.
And knowing that him and Logano are both in a must-win, like there is no pointing your way in, that they're going to come out with rocket ships. So, and like I said, I mean, I think Hamlin's best chance is if Penske does not get one of their cars into Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
you're right, because Penske is so strong at Phoenix, that that's the only way to prevent that from happening. And you're right, Blaney has had fast cars. It's just I don't think they've been as good on the short tracks this year as they have been in the past. It's
No, they haven't.
and that's my only concern. But yeah, you're right. And Blaney or Logano easily could also win. But I just don't think they've had the speed like they have in the past on the short tracks. But that's just my opinion. I think that the other teams have somehow figured it out better to get the balance and the speed. So
So
I mean,
if-
Hendrick does perform well. I mean, I think with the race that they ran, the Crimson Red, they went 1, 2, 3, and 5 or 6.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, the 40th anniversary race. Yeah, I think it was 1, 2, 3, and 5. I think it was. I could be wrong, but yeah, you're right. They all finished for sure in the top 6. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, there's so many variables with Martinsville being a short track and you got some, what do you want to say, over aggressive drivers that may do stuff like Carson Hocevar, very talented driver. He's good on short tracks, but he does boneheaded stuff and it ruins people's days. So, I don't know. I mean, Ross Chastain's another one that Martinsville with the Hill Melon. I mean, he's a variable too, where, I mean, he's been better as of late, but you never know. I mean, this current gen Cup car, we've talked about it a lot in our podcast. We're not fans of it at all. Xfinity is by far the best racing there is. And unfortunately, Steve O'Donnell, the president of NASCAR, I don't know, it was before our 100th episode. So it was probably maybe 6 weeks ago, was on a podcast. And he was talking about eventually that the platform of the Cup Series was going to go to the Xfinity Series. And we talked to Jeremy Clements during our 100th episode, and he said if they do that, I'm done. Our team's done, and the other smaller teams are going to be done because there's no way we can afford to change over to that platform.
It's too expensive. This IMSA car that NASCAR built that, we're going to save teams so much money, has cost teams so much more money, and it's a garbage car. Like the next gen car can be good, and Garage 56 proved that. Like when you're passing Italian hypercars at Le Mans on a road, they prove that the next gen car can be a good car. It's the NASCAR rule book that's holding it back. But I mean, I'll be very disappointed if the next gen body goes down to Xfinity, because Xfinity puts on those are still race cars. Next gen is not a race car, in my opinion. Xfinity puts on the best show, and the Cup drivers have said Xfinity is the hardest. Well, before next gen, I think they said Xfinity was the hardest car to drive. The Gen 6 car, like right before they switched over, wasn't as difficult as the Xfinity car is, and that shouldn't be the case.
So,
well, it also should tell NASCAR that when you got Kyle Larson and other Cup drivers that are wanting to race in the Xfinity Series, the max amount of times, what is it, 5 races? I think they can each race in the lower series. And Kyle Larson says he does it because the car is fun to drive, and he also wants to dominate and kick everybody's butt. But you got these other drivers, Kyle Busch. I mean, if they didn't think that platform was good and was fun, they wouldn't be doing that. They have so much seat time that they don't need that extra seat time. They're doing it because they love the car and love the platform, and the racing is good. And that's the thing that NASCAR doesn't understand. It's just like the gimmick stuff that they do with the stage breaks and in-season tournaments and the playoff format. I'm an old school guy. I'm going to be 55 years old next week, Tuesday actually, and I grew up watching NASCAR back in the late, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, the golden era of NASCAR, and it was the Winston Cup Point Championship, format, and it was straight up. If you had a bad week, it hurt you, but it rewarded the teams that were consistent instead of, like, for example, Shane Van Gisbergen kicks everybody's ass on a road course, but he's 32nd in points. He's not able to become into the in-season tournament because he's not in 30th or above in points or whatever at the time, but he's locked into the playoffs because he's won.
Right.
That makes zero sense. So
that's why I was pulling for Cody Ware at Daytona, thinking that he won. NASCAR wouldn't even think about it. They'd end the playoffs. But like, if Connor Zilisch doesn't win the Xfinity Championship, like that just proves that the playoffs are a joke. Like, he's been a dominant force, and I mean, I think he's going to be the next great NASCAR Cup driver.
100%.
The kid is utterly insane, and he's so mature for his age. If he doesn't win the Xfinity Championship, it just proves how flawed the playoff system is. And I'm a Gordon fan. I grew up a Jeff Gordon fan. He was fine until they changed the point system. Like, he would have 7 championships right now if they never touched the point system. And my buddy and I kind of go back and forth about like who the best crew chief was, whether it was Evernham or Chad Knaus. And my vote is Evernham because he had to plan the whole season. Knaus only had to do was get Jimmy into the playoffs, and then he had 10 races to do what he did best. Ray had to go through the 36 race season and get, every week, okay, we have to bring the best car that we can, not, we'll just sneak into the playoffs and then we'll wax everybody.
You can't take a week off.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Evernham thing. And Rob knows this. I used to root for Rusty Wallace, and then I just kind of like fell off. Well, I became a Jimmy Johnson fan because I worked at Lowe's.
Okay.
Jimmy, get him in the playoffs, and Jimmy could have won 8. I guarantee you, if he would have started a year sooner, he would have had 8.
Oh, I agree with that, because the playoffs fit what him and his crew needed to do.
Exactly. Now, put Denny, and I've said this over and over and over again, put Denny in that situation that Jimmy was in with a different crew chief, and Denny's winning a title, numerous ones. He wouldn't be still fighting for it now.
No, I agree with that, because I mean, Knaus, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm never, like, I never say anything bad about Chad Knaus. I mean, he's a crazy phenomenal crew chief. He just knew how. He understood the system of the point system and what he needed to do to get his driver to where, to the championship. And that's what he did, no fault of his own, no fault of anybody's. Chad figured out how to, maximize the chase.
They optimized the tracks that they were good at. They knew what tracks, for example, Texas. Jimmy Johnson was good at Texas.
Lowe's. Charlotte.
Huh?
Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. He was good there as well. And so they would key in on those tracks because they knew that they were gonna more than likely win. or had a good chance to win. And
Atlanta.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you could name pretty much any track, and Jimmy Johnson was good at it. But I agree, Chad Knaus, he's a great guy. Grew up just south of here where I live in Rockford, Illinois. I actually know his brother, Jason. He was a crew chief for a team that we raced against at Rockford Speedway, and very smart guy. But you're right. I mean, he had the system down pat. I mean, compared to like Ray Everham, you're 100% right. I mean, and Jimmy Finnig, even with Mark Martin, was the same way. And unfortunately, Mark never won a championship. But I think if they had this current playoff format back when Mark Martin was racing, he'd probably have like at least three to five because of the way the format's set up. And
I mean, I think Dale Earnhardt could have had 10.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I don't know. I just think straight up racing, like at your local short tracks, the point system, it works there. They don't have stage breaks except for like in some of the longer races where it's like 300 laps or whatever. They have to have a controlled pit stop to, so they can change tires, make adjustments safety wise. But other than that, they don't award stage points or do stage breaks or
no. Like
no.
the 600 doesn't feel like it used to.
Right.
The 600 used to be the most grueling race of the year, and now you're stopping every 100 laps, and then you have like 6-7 laps of caution, so for each stage. And if they're gonna do stages, just don't throw the caution, just let them run. And then if you're gonna, I've never liked stages, but if you're gonna keep it, they did it a couple of years ago where with the road courses where they just they ran to that lap and they just kept going, and then NASCAR counted the stage points, but they just kept it green. If you're going to keep the stages, just let, like, at least for the crown jewel races, just let it go. Like the 600 is supposed to be that, your 400 laps of, like the longest race of the year. And I think, I think Tony Stewart said it best where like winning the Daytona 500 doesn't feel like what it used to.
Mark Martin said the same thing, that based on this current playoff format, all my wins feel not as legitimate as they did when I won them. Because now when you win, you can just cash it in for several weeks and you're not penalized for DNFs or finishing bad because you're already locked into the playoffs. So the only thing I got saving grace is apparently Steve O'Donnell, and it's been said multiple times recently through their social media that Steve O'Donnell, the president of NASCAR, has said that they're going to change the playoff format and the point system, which is a start. And I'll be happy with that. The next thing they can work on, though, is this current gen Cup car, which unfortunately there's so much infrastructure and money invested into this platform already that there's no way they're going to be able to go backwards back to let's say like my suggestion was go to the Xfinity platform, put a bigger engine in it with more horsepower, and use that as the Cup car, and then you got equal cars where you're not having one driver like Denny Hamlin's a prime example. The first year that they had the sequential transmission, I can't remember what track it was. Richmond, maybe. It was at the beginning of the year. He ends up blowing his transmission because he thought he was in his old, regular race car, the regular shifting pattern car, and he downshifted and blew his transmission, was out of the race. And if they had equal platforms, just keep the Xfinity the way it is, and then have the Xfinity platform, but have maybe a different body on it or something with a higher horsepower engine for the Cup Series. I think that would be the ideal thing, because then you could have teams that had like the Cup cars and the Xfinity cars, you would have more teams be able to, like, for example, Jeremy Clements Racing, independently owned team, they have Xfinity only chassis. That would give them the ability to build a cup car and enter a cup race if they wanted to. It would obviously cost them more, but it would give them the opportunity instead of having to start from square one and buy a chassis and then the suspension and the geometry stuff for the rear end and the front end and an engine. And I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's so hard right now for the Xfinity teams that aren't like Junior Motorsports or whatever to get a chassis, yet alone, make one. I mean, Junior Motorsports, they build their own, but they keep them and they're hard to get. Jeremy Clements is racing Chip Ganassi chassis from probably they're 8 to 10 years old or more.
And it only gets worse, or it gets like for like the smaller teams like Brayton's chassis. I think it's from like 04 or 05. Like, I mean, it's old because they just don't, they don't have the money to go out and, they don't have Gibbs or Hendrick or Penske money.
But that's the cool thing though, because and not that they don't have the money, but it's the small teams where they're willing to say, hey, I am a race car driver. I'm a grassroots driver. I am going to do whatever I can to make my dream come true and race at this level. No matter what my budget is and what equipment I have, I'm going to make the best of it and try to succeed. And that's the cool thing about what like Alex Club is doing, or Brayton, or, and these other small teams, Jeremy Clements as well. I mean, he's the longest tenured Chevy driver in NASCAR, Xfinity Series, maybe in NASCAR. I can't remember for sure, but for sure in Xfinity Series. And next year he will overcome Kenny Wallace to have the most starts in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at 548.
Oh, wow.
So,
and it's at Sonoma, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like Sonoma in California. So, I mean, you just don't do that if you're not dedicated and have good partners and sponsors and have the drive and the, the passion for racing and stuff. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast. Is the Area 51 part is not because of aliens. It's because of we're covering stuff, giving people like you that's a partner of a race team that wouldn't usually get the exposure because you're part of the whole scheme of the racing. Motorsports is important. Your partner, you back a race team. Nobody covers that, and that's what we wanted to do, is give that people that deserve the recognition, like the pit crew members, partners, some of the smaller drivers and that type of stuff. Or like we have had Mark Martin on before, Robert Presley, Jeff Bodine has been on a few times. Some of the older retired drivers too, the legends of the sport, to get them some exposure as well. And it's just, we wanted to do, like I said, to give people that don't get the exposure, that deserve it, the opportunity to be out there. And that's what we're doing. And it's crazy that this is our 101st episode doing it. It's pretty cool.
It's really awesome. And it's great that you guys get like smaller people on it, because I feel, and don't take this the wrong way, I feel like NASCAR has become like the rich kid sport, where back in the day it wasn't that.
Yep,
I agree 100%. It's, if you have money and you can turn on a race car, they'll give you a seat. They'll put you in a seat as long as you can pass your NASCAR test to get your license. They'll let you race.
Oh, here we go. He did it again. His internet. So we were talking about Rob, you there?
Yeah, I don't know. My internet just decided to boot me out, so I
So
apologize. But yeah, you're 100% right. If it's the very few drivers now um, that are coming up actually probably have worked on the race cars. There's probably very few that would be able to go, I know what that part is and what it does on a race car.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. Even at the short track level, that you see some of these kids that
They just show up and drive.
show up and get in the car and drive.
Yep.
And that's fine. They're talented. That's fine, whatever. But when you move up the ladder and you're not able to figure out what your car is doing and what, I always say Kyle Busch is amazing to listen to on his scanner during a race. Not because he's colorful with his language at times, but he is phenomenal at telling his crew chief exactly what's going on with the car, what they should look at and suggest to change on the car. And it's amazing. And I've seen him at like the Slinger Nationals here in Wisconsin when he's raced there. He actually would get out and he would be underneath his car working on his car himself. I mean, that you don't see that often.
No, and I'm pretty sure he's having Brexton work on his car too. So he's he's one of the few.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I've seen videos of Brexton working on his car and his dad's there and he's like, he'll ask him, hey, what's this or whatever. Or sometimes he doesn't. And that's
how it should be.
That exactly. You should know how to fix the car or work on the car or have some type of knowledge about the car in order to be able to get behind the wheel and race it. I mean, I don't know. I just, being part of a race team and building a asphalt late model from a bare chassis all the way up to a race ready car one winter with my friend that was the driver and team owner. It just blew my mind. I mean, the amount of stuff that I learned just by doing that I had the basic knowledge of working on cars and oil changes and that type of stuff, but I had no clue about, I loved racing, grew up watching racing, going to racetracks as a little kid, but that just blew my mind that, the stuff that, how the weight shift and where to put the weight and all that kind of stuff. It's just, it's crazy. So, but yeah, I agree with you 100%. So
I am getting text messages asking me to show the Denny Hamlin and me picture.
Oh, I thought you were getting messages telling me to stop talking with my hands and be quiet because I ramble on too much. I get too excited sometimes. But, I get like Ricky Bobby and
I've got like 7 people messaging me going, show the picture. We want to see the picture. So here is the freaking picture. Logan, be the judge.
Yeah, that's in twins. Yep. Yeah, that's in Pocono, right outside
that's crazy.
There you go. That is Denny Hamlin and Denny Hamlin Jr.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's the Temu version of Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
Hey, you guys see it. Action's detrimental, baby.
Yeah.
But Logan, I don't want to hold you up. I just realized it's already past 9 o'clock. What the only other few things I've got is what social media platforms are you on and where can you order the sauce?
All right. So Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it's all just Big Fish Barbecue. And then our website is bigfishbarbecue.shop. And then I know you asked how I came up with the name. I don't think I touched on that. The whole idea of Big Fish was my last name is Sturgeon. So if you know anything about fish, it is like this it's still they're still around. You can find them like in Lake Erie and some rivers like up in the northern states. They are like this just prehistoric dinosaur looking fish with armor instead of like scales. And I think the largest one was like 12 foot and over like 1,000 pounds. So that's kind of where like the whole like big fish came from, just with my last name. Like there is no, I don't put fish in the sauce. I don't cook fit, fish that often with the sauce or anything. That's just where the name came from.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, sturgeon are, yeah, we have them here in our lakes and rivers, and they're big, and the like bumps on their back are like razor blades.
Yeah. Did you know that that's what caviar is, the sturgeon eggs?
Yep, I did know that. Yeah. It's crazy.
So once again, Logan, thank you for coming on with us, and thank you for partnering with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're looking forward to it, and like I said, make sure you guys go to Anna Moore Designs and go get those shirts. Logan, I will send you the her information because I know you're gonna want some too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't wait.
One quick thing, we have a buddy named Joseph Anselowitz that is a big he's a big cook as well, and he likes barbecue and off seasonings and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna give him a shout out because he comes up with different recipes on occasion for burgers and stuff that he shares. So I'm sure he'll be interested in your products, and probably will come up with some recipe at some time during the next year or whenever that we'll have to share on our social media and stuff. And obviously, I was going to say earlier too, on your social media, I saw you did a smoked queso recipe on Facebook that you shared the other day. So I think that's pretty cool that people can get recipes to use your products in and make good food. So
all I
again.
can say about that is I made that this weekend. Oh, it was so good. But I didn't use your rub. I didn't use your seasoning. That's the only downfall. I had to use St. Elmo's, but it was still good.
Well, when I get the seasonings out, you'll be the first to try the guinea pig batch.
I'm good.
And as you can tell, I like to eat, so I'm all good for trying stuff out. So
yeah, I'll hook you guys up.
I appreciate it, man. And
all right, thanks.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And good luck with your business, and hopefully it continues to grow and you get more exposure with the NASCAR 25 game.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. We are getting ready to get hit with a thunderstorm, so I was trying to get out of here because this thing hits and we're gonna lose power because they're saying that Indiana's already losing power. So I'm like, yikes.
Yeah,
So
I can hear it's raining here too.
I'm gonna speed through this. Yeah, it's pouring here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna speed through this real quick. Remember, go check out stickygears.com to purchase one of the Area 51 t-shirts. Those shirts are awesome, by the way. Also, check out Anna Moore Designs to get the new Big Fish Barbecue Area 51 collab t-shirts. Just message Anna. Check out her tumblers and whatnot. Also, Gale Beard Products is a partner of Area 51. Please go to their website, galebeard.com, and use the discount code Area 51 to get 15% off your order and free shipping. Rob, make them say it.
Gale.
And I'm going to say this. Denny Hamlin wins the championship.
I think he will too, like we discussed. So
we are off next week. And then the following week, November 4th, we have two amazing guests. I cannot wait to have them on the show. Absolutely awesome. Rob, we got Ryan Bell and Stuart Weiss. from City Garage Motorsports. Looking
Nice.
forward to that episode.
And they're owner and crew chief of
Owner
ARCA
and
ARCA team.
director of operations
Oh, okay.
and crew chief. But they'll be on November 4th, 8 o'clock Eastern. We'll probably be on for about an hour and a half, that show. You never know. There could be announcements. There could be all sorts of crazy crap going on. You never know. Meh. We'll find out, right, Rob?
Yep. Exactly.
Check out the Racing Warehouse for all your hat, sheet metal, all that good stuff. Check out Armadillo Apparel for the hat, shirts, sweatshirts. I had my sweatshirt on, but like I said, I'm actions detrimental this weekend because I'm rooting for Denny Hamlin, baby. I'm gonna just keep saying it.
It's gonna be Cody Ware all the way.
Huh?
Cody Ware, the 51's going to victory lane.
All right, never mind. Check out Circle B Diecast for all your diecast needs. Go to when you check out, use Area 51 and get $6 off shipping. Trust me, I've used it a lot, especially lately. If you're interested in any of Kylie Glick's merchandise, please check out her Facebook. We're gonna actually have her on here soon. But thank you for joining. Please check Instagram, Twitter, X. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. And thank you guys. Thanks all of our fans. Episode 100 was absolutely amazing. I was gonna touch on all of it, but with the storm, I will we'll talk about it. Maybe I'll do another show next week. And that way we can do it that way. We'll see. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors who make the podcast possible. Obviously, you guys just heard it here. Big Fish Barbecue. Thank you. They jumped on today, or absolutely this weekend. Spartan Waste, Fox Sports Spartanburg, Harrison's Action RV, Kylie Glick Racing, Mattman Designs, The Runner's Roost, Alliance Driveway Solutions, Anamore Designs, Circle B Diecast, Driven Sunglasses, Elite Towing and Recovery, High Speed Auto, The Racing Warehouse, and Armadillo Apparel, Belcher Cheesecake Creations, Fly Informed Concrete Structures, First Pacific Funding, Gale Beard Products, Wings Etc., Dialed In Focus Pouches, Schanzenbach Landscaping, Enigma Tattoo, Henderson Jet Services, Overwear Apparel Group, SBJR Designs, Ava Hansen, and Jeremy Clements at Jeremy Clements Racing. With that being said, Rob, before I play the video, y'all have a good night, and we will either see you guys next week or we will see you on the 4th. Y'all have a good night. We will see you guys soon for episode 102.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining back in, and